Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're just going to go over everything that I've done to this thing, to the Big Bear Moto 4, on modifying the plastic. We got the plastic on, we got the racks on, and it was a job. But it's together, man, and it's strong. It's not coming apart. But I'll show you everything I've done. So the only thing I haven't done yet, I got 2 lights yet to put on here. I ordered 2 different sets, and if I can find them here, I'll show you the other ones that I got. But I didn't like them, so I decided to go with something different. I ordered these lights first, and I was originally going to put those down here, which I did, and they looked really good down there. But then I had got these thinking that these would work for in here, but they're too big. So these will be used for like my trailer, my pickup, for reverse lights and stuff like that. We'll probably put one of these on the back of this and one on the back of my Big Bear, so these will be used for reverse lights. Because I have a switch on mine that I'll turn a reverse light on and it shines behind me so I can see where I'm backing up. Because when I go up to the mailbox to take you guys your gun parts to the mailbox, it's usually after midnight. So if I get an order at 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm still up, I'll go ahead and run it up to the mailbox, and it's dark, so I like to be able to back up and see where I'm backing. So that's what those will be used for. And then I went and got another set identical to these. Yeah, they were a little salty, but it's my son's Christmas gift, so I want it to be nice. So I'll put my cigarette away so I ain't got to fumble with it, and I'll show you everything I've got. So far, I don't have my lights hooked up. I don't have my speedometer hooked up. I still have to do a setup on the rear end to make the speedometer work. Yeah, it's overkill. I mean, who needs a speedometer on their Big Bear? But I got one on mine. I had an extra one. Might as well use it. So that I will show a video on how I do it. Just like I did on how to put rear disc brakes on my 2000 Big Bear. That one will be a video of its own. But let me put this away and we'll show you what we got. Now, all the lights are going to be wired separately. They're going to be put on switches on all their own. So, I mean, I'm still going to use the button or the switch for the headlights with this, and this is new. And but all the rest of the lights will probably be on these switches right here. Since I have them there, I might as well use them. They're lighted switches. I hope they're good. These were in it when I got it. So we're going to try to use these 2 switches right here and utilize them. Now, I just stuck this sticker on. This was something that my buddy Dale had. He had me do a sticker kit on his stepson's motorcycle, dirt bike, and these were left over because he had that one on there. It didn't need to be replaced. And these 2 stickers right here, I just decided to put them on here. Since the Big Bear stickers was tore up, I went ahead and took them off and just stuck these on there just to give it some kind of a trim. I'd like to have had something to put here. I'd like to have the Big Bear sticker here, Moto 4 sticker for this. But I'm going to be searching for another one of these because this one here is just in too bad a shape. I can't get it as clean as this one is. So And yes, it looks blue in the video. I noticed that in the last video. This looks blue, but it's actually green. So it's not blue, guys. But I want to try to find another one of these. But I put tread aluminum right there on this. I didn't replace the whole thing. I just covered up the bad spots with it, and it's mounted solid with this bar right here that goes straight across to the other side. And I think that looks pretty good. And like I said before, this bolt here takes care of three things. It holds this bumper, it holds the plastic, and it holds the rack at the same time. Now these racks didn't go to this. These are for some other bike. And I just basically took and welded a bracket right here to go down to this bolt, so the backside will be held down. And this is a 3-point hold down. On the other end, I found an adjustment screw or bolt for a deck on a lawnmower, and I just cut that off and made a hook, and then drilled a hole down in here and put a nut on the bottom, and it holds the front down. And then these two lights fit perfect right inside there. And I just trimmed all that out so that it would fall down to where this would fall down past this point right here. And you can see it just lines up with this right here. So it made a perfect square here. So then we're going to put another set of these lights right here. And the lights will be done on the front. I don't think I'm going to cover that up. I want people to see that I used Polaris on this. So this is a Johnny Cash four-wheeler. So then I took a piece of tread aluminum and cut it and bent it to go over top of this. Now I can't do a whole lot about this because there's too many bends, and this stuff's not that easy to work with. So I'm just going to leave that the way it is. It ain't going to hurt nothing for them holes to be in there. In fact, it gives it a little bit of a vent. So I'm just going to use it for vents. The only other thing that I didn't like was the fact that I had to cut into this, and it makes it look terrible. So what I have done is on my 3D printer, I am printing right now. I just started to print. And I printed a piece that goes from here to here with slots in it, all the way up and down it, and 2 rivet holes so that I can pop rivet it to this, and that will cover this because it'll come clear up to this tread aluminum. And I did that for both sides. So I'm waiting for those to finish printing, and then I can put those on here, and that will finish the front and have it done. And the back rack was a little more tricky. The original rack actually has hooks on it. I thought I had that in here. I could show you. Let me show you over here on this other rack that I have. It basically had these hooks right here on it, but they went in this direction. And what they did is they went down on top of here and had a bolt, and then all you had to do is take this loose here, and you could fold it up out of the way to remove your plastic. Well, I didn't have anything like that, so this is not the right one for this, but it works. Basically, I just took this and welded some ears to it, because this had this bracket here on both sides. So I just made some ears and welded it to this piece right here that was already there, and then just put some 1/4-20 bolts in it. And then I made these brackets right here to go down and mount to the frame. So this is not going nowhere. Now I did not put a screw here, although I could, but something's crooked on this thing. I don't know what it is. It could be my work. I don't know. Maybe one of these is higher than the other, but they looked the exact same when I cut them, because I had them clamped together, so they were exact same. So something on this is crooked. So I don't think it's my work. It could be that this plastic may be deformed, but I didn't want to put too much pressure on it, so I think it's fine the way it is, because you see this side has a gap between it. The other side barely has a gap between it. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, because this is pretty solid, and he's not going to be leaning on that. And even if he does lean on it and I put a bolt in there, it'd probably pull it out anyway. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. We're not driving this thing through hell. We're driving it down the road, and we're being responsible when we're driving. The only other thing that I have, other than what I've already mentioned, is one of these is missing. Now, if somebody's got one of these, let me know. I'll buy one off of you, but I need one for the other side. I'd like to have one that matches this, because I do like that mud flap. I was going to make them out of tread aluminum, but I don't have a piece big enough to do that. It would take probably a 24 by 24 sheet to get 2 of these out of them. So I'd rather just get one that says Moto 4 on the back of it, like the plastic one that's on it, and be done with it. Now, I haven't decided whether I want to put a plate here. I may make a plate right here to hide these 2 screw holes that somebody put in there, or I may put switches there. I don't know. But I'd like to try to make some kind of a cover to cover this up, and when I do, cover these up at the same time. So I might do something here. I don't know. Just depends on how I feel when I get to that point. But I switched the brake lever to this side simply because when you're trying to put this in reverse, you want to be able to hold your brake. And when you have your left hand holding the brake, you got to use your left hand to also shift it in reverse while you hold your brake. So I decided to put it on that side. Yes, it's upside down, but I was able to make it work. I didn't have a right hand brake lever, so I just turned it upside down and it worked just the same. The only difference is there's a hole in the bottom of it. The other side doesn't have that hole, so that's no big deal. So that way he can use his right hand to hold the brake and his left hand to shift it into reverse or low or high. Let's see. I'm probably going to rewire the brake switch instead of using the wiring harness. I've got this wire loose. I'm going to use it and splice it and make it work separately. We're just going to run a power and run it to the brake light, and then the tail light will be wired with the headlights. So when the headlights come on, the tail light will be on too. I do have another oil cooler coming for it. We got to replace the oil cooler because in the last video I showed where it swelled up in here on each side. So these are the brackets that I used, and it's come out of a lawnmower deck. Some of the levers inside the lawnmower, riding mower, and that holds the front. And basically I just, well, what's going on here? Why don't I have power of my light? Oh, I got it unplugged, that's why. Let me get some light on the subject here. I just ran it up to that right there. And I still got the headlights unhooked. I'm not ready to do those yet until I get my fuse panel, because I'm going to put a fuse panel in here for everything. So everything's got a fuse. If that one can have a fuse panel on it, why can't this one? This one didn't have one originally. So I'm thinking about putting lights right here. I've left enough room underneath here that I can put 1, 2, 3 lights. One of them's going to be for neutral, oil, and reverse. So I hope I don't have to wire that reverse separately. I may have to. I don't know if the reverse switch works on this or not. I guess we'll find out eventually. And whatever room is left over, if I've got room over here to take, I can take and round that off a little bit, or kind of do a angle here and cut it, make it look a little bit nicer. I was thinking about putting a piece of aluminum, tread aluminum under here to hide where the gas tank cover used to mount with the original plastic that used to be on this, because this is a different plastic. The original plastic that goes to this Big Bear was this, and this was all one piece, and then it had another piece that went over top of it that was black. Well, since I had to use this, I just bolted right there where it's supposed to bolt. It goes in the slots right here, and then on the back side, I just put a spring right there just to hold it in place. And then I got to reupholster the seat, which I'm thinking about taking this guy up on his offer. I may send this out and have somebody else reupholster it, because I want it to be nice, and that's what he does for a living. And he said that he would, if he was here, that he would do that for me. So I'm going to see about if he will do it if I ship him the cover and have him actually upholster it. Because I got one coming. The one that's got the camouflage down the middle and the black on the sides. So as soon as it gets here, I'm going to get with that feller, and yeah, he might be watching this video. If you are, I might take you up on that and just ship it to you and see if you can do this seat for me. Because I swear, I did mine, and it was god-awful ugly underneath of it. It looked good on top, but on the bottom, it is sure ugly from all the staples. So, and I don't have the right stapler. I had a T50 that I used, and that T50 was barely enough to get through that plastic, because that stuff is hard. So, that's where we're at on the Big Bear. I still got to wire the lights, wire the speedometer, and make the brackets for the, so the speedometer will work. And then add 2 more lights to the front. We're going to add 2 more lights just like those on each side in this hole. And I'm going to tell you, it looks good when they're in there too, man. This thing looks badass from the front. So that should be about it. That's basically all I've done so far. I still got to put a hose on this and run it up into here, so we'll have to put a hole in there for that to run down in there. So you already seen it run, so we've already done that part. Just wanted to show off the plastic that I got put on it, and God, that looks terrible. I may just paint that black until I can find me one. Make it use that black hammered I got and paint this black hammered. I don't know yet. Black hammered kind of don't look black. It kind of looks more, well, it might work on that, because it is kind of got a green tint to it. So, and my shop is a mess over this job. I'm ashamed of my shop right now. I've got stuff everywhere. So we got to do that next. I started cleaning up and getting some tools put away and got all the tools put away. Now I got to put all the other stuff away. Anyway, I hope you guys liked what I've done to this. I wanted to have a set of racks on it. He was fine without them. He said he didn't need them, but a four-wheeler to me should have racks on it. You know, what if I need him to go get a deer for me? You know, what if I kill a deer and mine's not running and he's got to take his? Be nice to have something to put a deer on, wouldn't it? So I wasn't going to stop at not putting a plastic on that or racks on it. And I think they looked pretty good the way that sets. I mean, everything's pretty uniform. And none of that goes to this bike. This don't go to the bike. This don't go to the bike. This plastic don't go to this bike. This don't go to that bike. The seat don't go to this bike. This didn't go with this bike. This didn't go with the bike. I put my own shit on there. Made some other bike stuff work on it. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.